Where should you be looking for jobs in today's market? In the newspaper? Online? What about job fairs? Job openings are found in either the advertised market, also referred to as the visible job market, or the unadvertised or hidden job market. Let's take a minute to review the differences between these two methods. The advertised market consists of open job competitions where the employer defines current job postings. They are advertised and visible to anyone who is searching through common resources, like the national or local newspapers or trade magazines, posted on company websites or on online job bulletin boards, through placement agencies and executive recruiters, and through industry and professional associations. While it's commonplace for public sector positions to advertise all of their job openings, the private sector tends to use the unadvertised or hidden job market to source a large proportion of its candidates. The hidden job market also refers to opportunities that are not visibly advertised. The most effective means of learning about these opportunities include word of mouth, active networking, social online networking, unsolicited approaches to potential employers. The reality is that the majority of job searchers focus their attention on the visible or advertised side of the market. It's clear, direct, and not very intimidating. But at the same time, it's also highly competitive. Accessing positions in the hidden market will require you to be proactive and use your initiative. It will offer access to opportunities not available through traditional search methods. The skills and techniques you need to use are relatively simple and easy to develop. And this method offers you a better chance of landing a job more closely related to your needs, desires, and skill base. In fact, before becoming visible, advertised jobs usually start as a hidden opportunity, even if for the briefest moment. Let's examine the pros and cons of the three most common methods. Print and electronic ads. It's a very common strategy. From your perspective, there are some very obvious advantages. You're applying to known and open positions. You can actively search the company and write a customized letter. You can use your network to get more information on the company, the position, and the culture. There are also some important disadvantages to be aware of. Your competition will be very high as it's in the advertised market. You'll need to match approximately 80% of the advertised requirements to have a solid prospect of being interviewed. If the position is posted through an agency or recruiter, you're now one step removed from that company, and you're going to need to convince them that you're a viable candidate that they would like to present. A second popular method for advertising positions is through the outsourcing and hiring of a placement agency or executive recruiter. Agencies may deal with full-time, part-time, or temporary positions. For this discussion, let's focus on full-time job opportunities. Let's talk first about the differences between a placement agency and an executive recruiter. While there are some exceptions, typically a placement agency will deal with job openings that are under $100,000 in annual salary. They will also frequently operate under what we call a contingency fee basis, which means they only get paid if they present the employer with the candidate that is eventually hired. So their fee is contingent on the hiring. If you don't get hired, they don't get paid. On the other side, we have executive recruiters. These organizations typically deal with senior positions that have a salary range of over $100,000. It's also typical for them to be retained by the organization, which means they have an exclusive contract with the company to conduct the search. So let's take a look at the pros and cons of engaging a placement company or executive recruiter for your hiring needs. The recruiting consultant can provide you inside information on the company, the person that you'll interview with, and the culture of the organization. They can help prepare you for the interview and with the company. You can do further research on the organization through your own personal network. So are there any disadvantages? Well, if you have a poor resume, you may also be overlooked during the initial screening process. Make sure you feel comfortable with attending the interview that the agency has sent you on. Don't feel pressured if you don't believe it's the right position or fit for yourself, and if it doesn't meet your own specific needs and objectives. You should never pay a placement agency or executive recruiter to represent you. The corporate client pays their fee for finding their ideal candidate. This fee is never taken from your negotiated salary, but it's an additional consulting fee the company pays the recruiting representative. If anyone ever asks you to pay a fee to register to have them represent you, just walk away. As a job seeker, determine if you should be contacting a placement agency or an executive recruiter. Research them to see if they specialize in any particular industry or line of work. Search their website to see what types of current opportunities they have posted right now. Develop a short list of representatives that will meet your needs. Call them and see if you can meet for 15 to 20 minutes to introduce yourself and talk about any current opportunities they have listed. Stay connected with multiple agencies, as they will likely be searching for different opportunities all at the same time. The third and final strategy to review is networking, which involves face-to-face and social online strategies. Your competition rate will be much lower as the position has not been visibly advertised. You've been referred by a mutual contact, so you are no longer a complete unknown to the interviewer. It's common that if you pass the initial resume screening, the selected number of candidates that are interviewed are already a short list. You can get first-hand information about the company and the interviewer from your contact, which will help you better prepare for your meeting. So are there any disadvantages? Not really. The key point to remind yourself of is that while your personal competition may be much lower, typically the referrals are highly qualified. So don't be afraid of networking. While it can sometimes appear to be a bit mysterious to some people, it's simply accessing the internal recruitment process of a position before it moves into the visible job market. An excellent analogy is to think of an iceberg. What we see above the water is only about 10% of the total iceberg, while the rest is hidden from view. It's still there, but we have to see it in a different way. So think of all job openings in the same manner. A fraction of them will be visible in the advertised job market, while the majority will be hidden, waiting for you to discover them. So where should you spend your energy during your search? Well, we've now discussed 3 common strategies that employers use to find and attract talent. Multiple studies have proven that approximately 70 to 80% of all positions are unadvertised. They're in the hidden job marketplace and will be discovered only through networking. If you review your week, examine what you did and where you spent your time. 70 to 80% of it should be talking to your contacts and sourcing unadvertised job opportunities, while only 20 to 30% of your time should be reviewing both print and online advertisements, dealing with agencies and recruiters, and attending job fairs. So now it's time for you to re-examine where you're spending your job search efforts. Spending them all in the right places will increase your overall success rate.